Today's lesson, I'll be showing you how to answer data response questions. How to answer data response questions. Now we have a question which is the output in cartons of bottled orange juice produced by a firm is presented in the table below. So we have a table, we have that of the labor, total product, average product, and the marginal product. Then that is the questions we need to solve. Now the first one, that is A, from the table, compute the values of S, T, U, V, W, and X for 12 marks. Then B, at what level of employment of labor does the law of diminishing return begin to operate? Explain your answer for 3 marks. Then C, state the law of diminishing marginal returns. That is for 2 marks. And then lastly, we have D. Is it rational to employ labor beyond the 7th unit? Explain your answer for 3 marks. So that is the questions. Now, these are the steps in solving data response question. The first step is read the instructions given carefully. Now, sometimes they give certain vital or important information in the instructions. So if you don't read the instruction, you might lose this vital information. So make sure the first thing you do when solving a data response question is you read the question very well, understand it before you do any other thing. Then the second step is examine either the table given or the graph in the question. Sometimes you'll be given a table, sometimes you'll be given a graph. Make sure that you examine it, you analyze it, you understand it before you start solving the question. Then we have the third step, which is read through the questions given. All the questions, if it's 5 or 6 or what have you, make sure you read through it. Don't solve it, but then you read through. Then lastly, that is the last step, we have take the questions one after the other and then you solve. So these are the steps you follow in solving data response questions. Now let's go back to our question, the question given. So as I said, the first one, we are to read the instructions given before you start solving. Then, as I said, the next one is we are to examine the table or the graph. Now, in this case, we are given the table, so make sure you analyze it. How do we analyze the table? You realize that we have columns and we have rows. The first column, we have that of labor. You go through the labor. The labor is starting from 0 to 7. You go through it. Then the second column, we have total product. That is for 0 to 120. You go through it. Realize that with the total product, we have some missing numbers. We have that of the S, and we have T. So you have to understand that. Then when we take the third column, which is the average product, we have some missing numbers, which is U, and then we have V. So it means something has to be done about it. Then lastly, we have that of the marginal product, which is we have some missing values, which are, we have the W and then the X. So that is what going through the table given. Then, as I said, you go through the questions before you take them one after the other and then you solve. So let's begin to solve the question given. Now, the first question is, that is from the table, compute the values of S, T, U, V, W, and then X. So we are going to compute the first one, which is S. Now with S, you realize that you can find S in the total product. So that is this S here. We are to calculate for S and then T in the total product column. Now to calculate for the total product, in my previous video, I said with total product, the formula it's giving us the average product times labor. The AP represent average product, the L it's labor. So this is the formula for calculating the total product. Now let's calculate that of the S. So S will be equal to, that is total product 2. Now I realize that this is S. Then we said the formula is the average product times labor. So it means that that will be average product for the second unit times labor for the second unit. Now the average product for the second unit, it's 22, as you can see on the table, and then that of labor, it's 2. So in solving the S, that will give us S is equal to average product, which is 22 times labor for the second unit, which is 2. So our final answer will be 44. This is the final answer. Then in solving for T, T will be equal to the total product for the fifth unit, which is average product for the fifth unit times labor for the fifth unit. Now the average product for the fifth unit, we have 22, and that of the labor, we have 5. So it means that T will be equal to, we'll have 22 times 5, which is equal to 110. So that is our total product for the fifth unit. So we are done with the calculation of S and then T. Let's move to the next value, which is U. Now in calculating for U, it's in the third column, which happens to be the average product. So we have the calculation of U and then V in the average product. So we are asked to calculate for the average product. Now the formula for calculating the average product, that is AP, will be equal to, we have the total product over labor. Total product over labor. Now let's calculate that of the U. U will be equal to, we have total product at the third unit over labor for the third unit. Now realize that the average product of the third unit, we have 69, and that of the labor, it's 3. So it means that U will be equal to, we'll have 69 over 3, which is equal to 23. That is for the U. Then we solve that of V. So V is equal to, we will have the total product. You realize that V, that is what? We have total product, which is 120, and then labor, which is 6. So we will the formula will be total product at the 6th unit over labor for the 6th unit. So V is equal to, we have 120 over 6. The final answer is 20. Then we move to how to solve for W and then that of X, which is in the marginal product column. So it means that we need to know the formula for calculating the marginal product. Now the marginal product, that is MP, the formula is we have formula which is this symbol represents change. So we have change in total product over change in labor. Now we'll expand the change in total product, which will be the current total product. We have TP1 minus the previous total product, which is 0. Now the difference between this 1 here and then the 0 here is that 1 represents the current total product and then the 0 represents the previous or the old total product, over, we expand that of the change in labor. That will be the current labor minus the previous labor. So that is the formula for calculating the marginal product. So if we are asked to calculate for W will be equal to, it means that we need to know, so W will be the difference between, that is the S here, S we got 44, and then that of 20. So we have 20 and then 44. Now you ask yourself which one is the current total product, which one is the previous total product. The current obviously will be 44, and then the previous or the old will be 20. And then that of labor will have 2 and then 1. The 2 will be the current labor, and then the 1 will be the previous labor. So in fixing it in our formula, it means that the TP1, that is the current total product, will be 44 minus the old total product, which is 20, over the current labor, which is 2, minus the previous, which is 1. So that will give us, we have 24 over 1. Any number over 1 is the same as that number. So our final answer will be 24, which is for W. Then that of X, we follow the same procedure. So X will be equal to, so in working with X, it means that we will have 22, we will have T. What did we get for our T? We got 110. So that would be the 110, and then 92, and then 5, and that of 4. So it means that the 110 will be the current, and then the previous will be the 92. So in fixing it in our formula, we'll have, that is 110 minus the 92, which is the previous. We have 92 over 5 minus 4. And this will give us 18 over 1, which is the same as 18. So that is for X. So we are looking at the B side of the question. That is, at what level of employment of labor does the law of diminishing return begins to operate? Explain your answer. So this is 2-in-1 question. The first one, you are to tell us at what level the law begins to operate. Now with the law, the indicator of the law, it's the marginal product. So let me fix in what we got for the marginal product. With W, we got 24. Then X, we had 18. And as I said, the indicator of the law, it's the marginal product. Now the question That is, at what level of employment of labor does the law of diminishing return begins to operate? Now, to know when the law starts or begins to operate, the moment you realize that the marginal products had started falling, or the moment the marginal product begins to fall, then you know that the law is operating. Now realize that taking the marginal product, we have 0, then we have 20, 24, 25. Then it falls from 25 to 23. So it means that to answer the question, that is, at what stage of employment, so you are going to answer it using the labor. Now with the labor, we have 0 labor, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4. So it means that at the 4th unit of employment, the law started operating. So this is that 23 corresponding with 4 units. So your answer will be what? 4. At the 4th unit. At the 4th unit, the law started operating. That is for your explanation. So we have the solution here, that is at the employment of the 4th unit of labor. Then the explanation will be that this is because at that level, marginal product begins to diminish or fall from the 25, as you can see here, 25 to 23 cartons. So that is the B. Then C, you are to state the law of diminishing marginal returns. Now in my previous video, I've already explained it, but then let's explain what the law is. Now the law states that all other things being equal, as more and more of a variable factor, the variable factor we are talking about labor, it's added to work on a fixed factor, which is land. What happens to the marginal product? The marginal product will initially increase and then eventually fall. Now let's draw the diagram representing the marginal product. Now this place is labor. Then we have the marginal product. As I said, the marginal product will initially fall, attain maximum, begin. So it will increase, attain maximum point, fall, and then enters the negative zone. So that is the diagram representing the marginal product. So that is the law. Then the final question is it rational to employ labor beyond the 7th unit? Explain your answer. So this one too is 2-in-1 question. So let's take the first one. Is it rational to employ labor beyond the 7th unit? Now, where is the 7th unit? This is the 7th unit. At the 7th, when we employ the 7th person, realize that the total product remains unchanged. The 6th person is giving us a total product of 120. Then employing the 7th person should have increased our total product, but then we are having the same total product repeating itself here, which is what 120. Then for the marginal product of the 6th unit, we have 10, that of the 7th unit, which is 0. It means that employing the 7th person did not add anything to our productivity. Now from 0, we are entering into the negative zone, and they are asking us that is it rational for the labor to employ beyond the 7th unit? In other words, is it rational for the producer to employ an 8th person? The answer will be no. Then the explanation is that this is because beyond the 7th unit of labor, total product is falling. So you realize that when total product attains its maximum, the next thing is it begins to fall. So any additional labor you employ will rather add up to your cost of production and not add up to your total productivity. So as I said, the explanation will be that this is because beyond the seventh unit of labor, total product is falling, and then marginal product is already in the negative zone. So it wouldn't be what rational for the labor to the producer to employ an additional unit of labor beyond the seventh unit. So that is, we are done with our question of the day. Please, if you are new to this channel, remember to subscribe to my channel, you like, you share, and then make sure to leave a comment below.